Thank you, Steve. And the first pitch of the game is hit deep to right field. Canseco's going to watch it sail out of here. And hello, everybody. Tony Phillips with a greeting of his own, hitting a home run on the first pitch of the game to right field. And, John, I was going to say about Tony Phillips, he is the poor man's Ricky Henderson.
Tony Phillips gets into the first pitch of the game from Bobby Welch, sends it over the right field wall. And we didn't know if we were going to come on in time, Paul. We came on just at the right moment.
But base alive.
Here's a fastball on the inside half. Phillips sitting on the fastball, and he gets all of it for his 8th home run of the year. He does have 37 RBIs now.
So Bobby Welch gives up his 11th home run of the season, and the
big leagues. 14 years together at the Keystone Combo for the Tigers.
To the right side of McGwire, who underhand to Welch coming over. Well, let's take a look at the batting order. We saw the Tony Phillips home run leading off, and Lou Whitaker now grounds out to the right side with Welch covering. Travis Fryman, the Tigers All-Star Game representative, in the 3rd slot. Cecil Fielder, who is ignored by the All-Star crew, is in the number 4 position, followed by Tettleton, Gladden, and Deere. Then Livingstone and Kyler bats number 9. And he's playing shortstop, John, where his future lies. Into center field, and Jerry Brown. 2 outs. Of course, Cecil Fielder, as Sparky Anderson was saying, in the second, and on hold at 18 home runs. Automatic. So Cecil strikes out for the 83rd time this year. And Bobby Welch in the first inning, a home run on the first pitch to Tony Phillips, and then retires the side in order. 1-0 Detroit. Tony La Russa's lineup. And Ricky Henderson led off the game last night for the A's with a home run. He's back in the fold in left field. Carney Lansford number 2. Jose Canseco DH last night, in the field tonight with the still sore shoulder. Harold Baines, the designated hitter, his back coming alive of late. Mark McGwire, the world home run leader at 28. Terry Steinbach doing the catching. Jerry Brown in center field. Mike Bortic at second base. And Walt Weiss rounds out the batting order in the number 9 slot at shortstop. And Bill Gullickson on the hill for Detroit.
Here's veteran Bill Gullickson. You can see his stats, 9 and 6. He leads the Tigers in innings pitched at 126. He's been easily their most reliable and consistent starter over the last 2 years. Tonight, veteran Lou Whitaker at second base, and the young star Travis Fryman at shortstop. Scott Livingstone at third, Dan Gladden, Milt Kyler, and Rob Deere in the outfield for the Tigers, and Mickey Tettleton, another all-star snub, behind the plate.
You got to have Ricky Henderson in the lineup.
Stolen bases and on-base percentage. He's the prototype leadoff man.
This one is to deep right center field, but playable. Kyler goes over. He has company, but Kyler makes the catch and runs into Deere. But luckily for Kyler, Deere saw him coming, and they brushed, because Kyler would have come out second in a collision to Big Rob Deere. Twins still playing good baseball. The Twins have won 4 in a row. The A's have won 4 in a row. Last reported was a 2-2 tie, 9th inning, Boston at Minnesota. This one is hit well to the gap, but moving over is Kyler to put it away. Play hurt.
Jose, in my opinion, is the premier power hitter in the game today when he's healthy. See, he has an open stance. He's used to getting pounded inside.
In the air to right center, Deere and Kyler, and it's Deere without any problem. So 3 fly ball outs here in the first inning. Jose Canseco's dad saw his son take a nice cut, but 1, 2, 3 on fly balls, 1-0 Detroit.
There's Welch's number, 7-4 and a 2.70 ERA. He's been on the DL twice this year with a bad leg and tendonitis in his shoulder, but...
And we're in the second inning. 1-0 Tigers on a leadoff home run, the first pitch by Tony Phillips. This one might get down into center field. Brown was playing deep, and it was hit off the handle. Base hit for Tettleton. Little blooper. I certainly can't say that for his father. What a thrill to watch your son play, no matter how many times you've seen it done. Dan Gladden with a fly to Canseco. fly ball to right field. So 1 out, and Tettleton at first base, and now Rob Deere is in there.
And you hate to see a guy jump on the first pitch or a pitch early in the count when the leadoff man gets on base. You like to try to work that count a little bit, see if you can work a walk. In the old days, now down around 50%.
Not much behind this one. Could be tough in the twilight, and it is Brown finding it and making the catch. It's as though Jerry Brown was a little lost when the ball was initially hit. He did his minor league rehabilitation stint, and they're thinking Johnny could be ready this weekend. Here's a shot down the right side, and it is Canseco playing it safe, going to third base, Tettleton, and the Tigers have runners at first and third. Prolonged. Here comes Milt Kyler. 1-0 Tigers, second inning. Looking for more with 2 outs. Welch happy to be pitching at home, especially during his current hot streak, but he trails 1-0. A shot and out of the reach of McGwire. Tettleton checks in. Livingstone to third, and it's 2-0 in favor of Detroit.
Win the game most of the time. And here's the 1-2 pitch to Milt Kyler. He drives that ball in the hole to right field. And we see Scott Livingstone. He's going to third base all the way. Now, as this ball is thrown in, he should turn around and pick the ball up. There he is.
Pitch way over the right field fence in the first inning for his 8th home run of the season. Kyler at first is a threat to run. He has 8 steals. To the right side. And Bordick makes the play, but the Tigers get a run on 3 base hits, leave a couple on, and at the end of 1.5 from the Oakland Coliseum, the Detroit Tigers 2, the Oakland Athletics 0. And now Bain stands in, hitting at almost a 350 clip over his last 16 games. Fryman picks it off, 1 away.
Had a pitcher throwing the ball about 60 miles an hour right down the middle.
A shot off the glove of Livingstone. Goes as a base hit. Ruled too hot to handle. Steinbach at 276, 8 home runs, 24 RBIs, and a nice on-base percentage, over 350.
Letting them hit and wants them to hit the ball at somebody.
Down the line, fair ball. McGwire is into second base, headed to third base, holding. It's 2 for Steinbach.
Gullickson, the trend continues. Again, he's been struggling his last 3 starts. And
Steinbach, 2-0 Tigers, second inning, 1 out. Up the middle, off the glove of the pitcher, Gullickson. Fryman makes the play, but the A's get a run, and they're on the board. So it's now 2-1 in favor of the Tigers. Let's go to Gary Miller.
Paul Budweiser takes us to Comiskey. What a game this has been. Now we're in the 11th. They're tied again at 3-all when Robin Yount hits a blast. Sean Abner at the wall. Loses his hat, but what a grab. But Ramon Hernandez was not out of it. A bullet by Darrell Hamilton gets the job done, scoring Paul Molitor. They've scored in the 9th, 10th, and 11th. But the White Sox have answered as they get a chance in their half of the 11th. Back to you.
He's leveled off at 318. He's still in the top 10.
And Bordick 11 for his last 18. You can see there where in June he has struggled a little bit, but the way this guy has played. Probably a blessing in disguise that he went over to the Yankees.
Runner at third, 2 outs. This one might get down. No. Kyler is playing shallow and catches the line drive. So a run on a couple of base hits, no errors, and a man left at third base. End of 2, 2-1 Tigers. So the Tigers, if and when the team can figure out what to do with their playing site, and in fact they'll build a new ballpark. Lansford for the first out. Let's go to Gary Miller.
Paul Budweiser takes us to the Big A, and not a good night for Scott Sanderson and the Yankees. They're already down 5-0. This double by Luis Polonia brought in Stevens and D. Sarcina. Soho doubled him in, and Sanderson's given up 7 hits and 5 runs, and they've only played 2 innings. We go back to you.
So Travis, on his current pace, well, he's going to get over 600 at-bats this season.
Player in his position.
To center field, and Jerry Brown. So 2 outs, and Travis Fryman in the All-Star game the other night in San Diego. He's only 23 years of age. Cecil Fielder is the batter. easy pop-up if it's playable. Steinbach and McGwire. And it's a 1-2-3 third inning. Any pitcher would like to get rid of Cecil Fielder on one. So at the end of 2.5, 2-1 Tigers. Reminding about ESPN's America's Game of the Week Sunday from Three Rivers Stadium. Barry Bonds of the Pittsburgh Pirates versus Ryan Sandberg and the Chicago Cubs. 8 o'clock Eastern Time, 5 o'clock in the West, as the Cubs and Pirates do battle.
Darrell always getting himself wrapped up in controversy.
Cecil Fielder takes care of Walt Weiss. 1 away. He and his agent, Scott Boras of San Diego, and Tony La Russa somehow has kept the team together. Two outs.
See, in my opinion, this is La Russa's finest job as a manager in this year, because the A's are playing almost 600 ball. There's a hole and has to throw somebody out. There's a Travis Fryman banner all the way out here in Oakland. Fryman for president. Detroit Tigers. Somebody lives out here.
Base hit through the hole on the left side. 2-out single for Carney Lansford. The score is 2-1 Tigers. We are in the third inning. In town for the weekend is Dave Vincent.
50+ dingers.
Going anywhere except into the glove of Deere, and that will do it here in the third inning. That's his dad on the right. He's in the middle, and the first time up his father was blowing the fly ball. He didn't do it this time.
Great game in the Metrodome tonight as Budweiser takes us there, and it's Chuck Knobloch facing Jeff Reardon in the 10th, and the winning run aboard, and it squirts through there, and the Twins have won it. They have beaten the Red Sox 9 of the last 10 times they've beaten it, and a 1-run victory tonight.
Instead of a bat.
Pendleton tremendously strong. 19 home runs. Was left off the All-Star game team this year.
Jerry Brown calling for it. 1 away.
Let me tell you one thing. Atlanta, if you'll recall, about a month ago, Atlanta was way down under 500, and they have really been on a roll. And like we predicted early on, they're going to be there in September with the Reds. I think we're looking at 2 excellent races there in the National League West and here in the American League West.
Picked off by Lansford. 2 outs. Montreal coming out of the blocks in the second half, 2-0, and making life difficult for Greg Riddick and the Padres
at this point.
Weiss can't handle it. It's a base hit. He is definitely the commissioner for the people. Base hit. So back-to-back singles with 2 outs for the Tigers.
His career winning percentage of .558 ranks 10th on the all-time list. So he's been a guy that he came up with Cincinnati, inherited that great ball club, but he has won in Detroit also.
And on deck, the dangerous Phillips, the former A. To shortstop and Weiss on the move, and the tag missed. Everybody's safe.
Try to knock the ball down, keep it in the infield with 2 outs, and let's watch Kyler get out of the box. Walt Weiss comes in, takes the ball on the run. He makes a great play, throw the ball a little bit up the line, and McGwire could not get the tag on him before he touched the base. Nice play by Walt Weiss, though. This just shows you how much ability it really takes to play shortstop in the major leagues.
Bases full, 2 outs, 3-2 the count. 2-1 the score. Tigers, we're in the 4th. Here we go. He's out of there on a controversial call.
The ball looked high to me, and that's what Tony is upset about. He's very high. Got Troy Neal, who's doing a good job. He's a left-handed hitter, and I don't think Baines will be back unless he's willing to take a large pay cut.
McGwire working with a different hitting instructor this year, Doug Rader, the former Angel manager. Cecil Fielder, the sluggers here in the ballpark tonight, and take a look at the production. Runner at first base, none out. Out of there is McGwire. He's punched out. Runner on the move on the 3-2. Fryman to second anyway. To first, a double play. So despite the fact the runner was on the move, the ball was hit in the perfect position for the Tigers to turn to anyway. So here in the 4th inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, and no one left on base. At the end of 4, 2-1 Tigers. Second. And now Bobby Welch, John, picks up where he left off, falling behind in the count. It's now 2-0 to Whitaker.
Bobby Welch's pitch count, 69 pitches through 4 innings. He's very wild at the present. Anytime you can't throw that fastball over the plate for a strike, you're hurting.
And the A's have been pitching very well. Twisting away from Canseco, past him. Canseco runs it down in the corner. Whitaker to third, and now the ball is bobbled out there. So Whitaker comes home to score, and into third base is Fryman. I don't know what happened there in the corner. Yeah, this is a good angle.
See, Canseco, he knows it's a base hit. He didn't get over and cut it off. He picked the ball up, and it got away from him on the throw. The third base coach had Lou Whitaker holding up at third, but sent him after the ball was dropped. Bring the infield all the way in here with nobody out. You're going to open yourself up to a possible big inning. Not a liability on the infield. You can get around, pick the ball out of the dirt.
Jammed him, popped him up, and it's a mile high. He's out if Lansford can catch it, and he does.
That's a good job of pitching by Bobby Welch, and you could see what the strategy is against Cecil Fielder.
Late when the pitch is made. Why do that?
Well, they're coming up. They're just getting a little momentum coming up. So with a little bit of momentum as the pitch gets to the hitting zone, they...
And at third base, 3-1 Tigers here in the 5th.
So 4 strikes and 33 balls and 87 pitches in 4 and 2 and 1/3 inning is too many pitches.
And here is Dan Gladden. Gladden has flied out to right, grounded to third. A's looking for the double play, and they're not going to get it off the glove of Lansford and down the line. So Fryman comes in to score. Tettleton advances to second base. 4-1 Tigers. A shot by Gladden, and Lansford just couldn't react in enough time.
RBI single by Danny Gladden. He gets a breaking ball on the first pitch, and ball was hung on the inner half of the plate, and he drills it down the line. Lansford almost makes a great play. Travis Fryman had to make sure it got through. He tagged up and
time with this visit. And so La Russa comes out. Look at that.
They had 2 consecutive shutouts, 3 straight 2-hitters, and 25 straight scoreless innings coming into this ball game. But Tony Phillips took care of that last one in a hurry. First pitch home run.
He's been bothered by a sore hand. As Sparky says, he's okay now. Apparently Deere had to alter his swing somewhat.
He needs to make contact. Of course, he's got 21 home runs and only 38 RBIs so far this year.
He goes down with a mighty rip. So for Bob Welch, that is strikeout number 3.
Him in Detroit.
Well, who's going to pay for it? Where is it going to be? Downtown, the suburbs? Welch deflects it. It probably would have been the 3rd out had he not touched the ball. So the bases are full of Tigers again. They left the bases loaded in the 4th inning, left a couple of men on in the 2nd.
He had it when I first saw him managing the Cincinnati club.
And this should do it. It does. So Welch gives up a couple of runs, though, here in the 5th inning. And the Tigers with a 4-1 lead. Minnesota won tonight, so the A's have to win to keep pace and remain 2 games back in the West. Jerry Brown with a ground ball his only time. One strike to the Governor. Out to shortstop and Fryman. Has time to recover and guns him out. Let's go to Gary Miller.
Ball at the Kingdom. It was a 1-all game. Jimmy Key facing Lance Parrish with 2 aboard. And Parrish hits a 3-run shot. It's his 6th of the year. The Jays have answered, though, with 3 in the 5th. So now it's tied at 4 as they go to the 6th inning in Seattle.
He is 0 for 1 with a line out to center field. So the guy they called the Big Wheel down at California and Anaheim, Lance Parrish, going deep. As a free agent with Detroit in December of 1990. 2-2. Down to third and handled easily by Livingstone. 2 outs. On a more normal 3-hour-plus pace. Sparky Anderson, the Tiger manager, had made some comments about how to pick up games. We'll talk about it when we come back. The commissioner here tonight, maybe Sparky was explaining some of his ideas to him earlier. 4-1, Detroit.
Organization in a minor league deal before the 1991 season. He then went to AAA Tacoma last year and went 9-2 with a 1.8. Got called up to Oakland. Was 1-0 last year for Oakland. And this year he's taken the right-handed setup role in the bullpen for the A's.
And we'll duck some in here. And John would like you to comment and add your expertise as to whether or not Sparky has an idea. As the strikeout occurs, Tony Phillips goes down and 1 away. Lou Whitaker comes up. First of all, books. It is on the books. Rule 8.04 says pitchers may take 20 seconds between pitches when the bases are unoccupied. Violators may be assessed 1 ball. It's never enforced. Okay. No one's on base within the 20-second allotment.
Well, the pitcher's tempo dictates the speed of the game.
Ricky Henderson puts it away. Let's go back to Gary Miller.
Paul, the Cubs won't have to face Danny Jackson at Pittsburgh in their 4-game series, but the Pirates have to deal with Steve Buechele, who knocked down his replacement's ground ball, Jeff King, and Maddox gave up 1 run over 8 innings, winning it 2-1, lowering his ERA to 2.33. We'll have the Cubs and the Pirates Sunday at 8 Eastern. Back to you, Paul.
It's an intentional walk. Just say intentional walk and don't throw the pitches. I mean, it's not going to affect, you know, the shortstop, and Weiss comes up niftily for him. 1-2-3 inning for Campbell. That'll do it in the 6th from Oakland. And at the end of 5.5 innings, A's, knowing the Twins won tonight, need to keep pace, but trail 4-1. 10 o'clock Eastern time, 7 o'clock in the West, right here on the ESPN. It is not in the cards, I think, for the A's. This one will be a tough play for Fryman.
Let's watch Fryman's range to his right. There he goes to the right on the grass, on the run, behind third base, all the way to first. Not too many players that can even make that play.
He's been caught 5 times. Fielder, a real good friend. Henderson with a tremendous jump. He might have said to Fielder, baby, I'm going on the next one.
Stints on the DL. He just gets a tremendous jump off of Gullickson. No chance for Tettleton. And Ricky knew he was in there. Ricky 5th in the American League in steals with now 27 steals.
Blanford. The shortstop, and Henderson has to hold on as Lanford is thrown out. So you don't believe that the A's even had situational baseball in mind there with Lanford, huh?
I don't think so. I mean,
it hits Henderson in the head, and he goes to third base as Gullickson just lobbed it over the bag. Trying to catch Henderson napping, or just trying to make a little calling card. And it hit Ricky right on the helmet and deflected into right field.
Gullickson just flips the ball out to Lou Whitaker. He had to lead Lou into the bag because Lou wasn't on the bag. And he was hoping Lou would break over, catch the ball, and catch Henderson off the bag.
Oh, yeah, I guess a nice thought, but now Henderson is talking. And And a check swing by Canseco. Take another look. And now the 1-1. And gone! Jose Canseco takes the Grand Tour. His 19th home run, and his dad gives him a standing ovation.
I tell you, his dad didn't have to blow that one out of the ballpark. Here's Jose getting this ball. It's actually a fastball down and out over the plate, and he knows it's gone.
And now Baines follows with a single to center field. As the Bash brothers, look at this bash.
Here's Gullickson, a fastball on the inner half of the plate. You don't want to be inner half to Jose. You want to be in on his fist, and he was able to get that bat extended. Mr. Canseco pushing the ball foul. There it is.
Tigers now with warming action in their bullpen, and John Doherty starts heating up in the... Whitaker and Fryman, and it's Whitaker taking over. Let's go to Gary Miller.
Paul, speaking of the long ball, here in the Kingdome, Jimmy Key had gotten back into a tie situation, but then Ken Griffey Jr., the All-Star MVP, goes opposite field for his 16th of the year. It's 5-4. Lance Parrish hit a 3-run homer earlier in the game. He's at it again. His 7th of the year and his 2nd of the game, a solo shot, and it's 6-4 Seattle now as we go back to you in Oakland.
The 8th.
Baines with a short lead. And this should be routine to end it. Rob Deere is under. Third out, but we've had a 2-run home run here in the 6th inning to get the A's to within 1 as Canseco takes the Grand Tour for the 19th time this year. Look at it go. 4-3 Tigers. Now the 1-1 delivery. A shot. Boy. Campbell tried to knock it down, but it was well past him by the time he got the glove up. Cecil Fielder ripping a single to center field.
Cecil Fielder not going anywhere. He's got no stolen bases this year on no attempts.
High and deep to right field, but playable for Canseco. Fly balls.
Even Dan Gladden, the guy that's supposed to be able to run, he's only got 2 stolen bases this year.
And another fly to Canseco. Somewhat to Deere to try and get him. Up and away. And that'll do it. Here in the 7th inning, no runs ahead. No errors, and 1 man left on. Stretch time here at Oakland. It's 4-3 Detroit. Was off balance, not much behind that swing, and Fryman.
Like we're going to see him tonight.
Mike Bordick goes after the first one. Rob Deere in right field.
Right now to get back on track.
Troy. That's a hit. 2-out single for Walt Weiss. Brings up the dangerous Henderson. So George Sparky Anderson makes the signal to the bullpen. The right-hander John Doherty will be brought on. Anderson always never steps on the chalk.
Through the Tigers system, he's a 24-year-old right-hander. Look for him to throw the hard sinker in on the right-handers. As you see his stats this year.
4-3 Tigers, 7th inning, 2 outs. Weiss on the move for real this time. Throw will get him anyway. Despite the high toss by Templeton, still in plenty of time to get Weiss. First pitch down to third, and that will be that for Scott Livingstone. 1 away. A few months coming up for Buck Showalter. John, with George Steinbrenner perhaps coming back to the Yankees to run
the Double-A level tops, has done a fine job this year. You know, it's a lot to that job in New York.
Skeeter Barnes, his first at bat and his first hit. Barnes came in defensively in the previous half inning for Milt Kyler.
Take out their best center fielder. Hits 300 in Triple-A every year.
He's on the move. Let's see if they can get the out. Nope. But they get it at first base. And Walt Weiss says, I tagged the runner at second. The umpire there says, nope, you didn't. We'll have to be the judge on replay. So 4-3 is the score. Another look at it. Looks as though Weiss makes the tag, but Barnes is called safe. We'll be right back.
Honeycutt comes on. He's 37 years old now, but Tony La Russa does an excellent job in the last 3 innings with his bullpen. And Honeycutt on just to face one guy. He's going to face Lou Whitaker, go lefty on lefty.
Still another one of the potential free agents, Rick Honeycutt. There's Parrott.
And this just shows how managers are going today. They can put in a pitcher like this to go to one hitter.
Walt Weiss on the move, makes the play, and so the missed call at second doesn't matter. Near the 8th inning, no runs, a hit, no errors, and one man left off. He has also grounded out and flied out to center field. Excuse me, swing, and it's going to count. Lou Whitaker and his lack of range pays off for the A's. Gary Miller now.
Paul, the M's are breaking it open against the Jays. They were up 6-4 in the 7th with 2 aboard when Kevin Mitchell knocks in his 2nd and 3rd runs of the game. Edgar Martinez and Ken Griffey Jr. come home. It's now 8-4 as they've gone to the 8th. Baltimore could make up a game on Toronto. Back to you.
In the 6th inning, the bunt is down. And the sacrifice moves Henderson into scoring position. In the bullpen now for Detroit. Knudsen has joined Munoz in the pen.
Henderson, he'll take 3rd in a second.
He breaks for 3rd, and time had been called. This does not count either way. Back to 2nd base, Ricky Henderson. As Jose Canseco backed away, asking for time, and Drew Coble granted it.
And the defense is all moving around and out of position. That's why a great leadoff man with great speed is so dangerous and so valuable to a ball club.
Once again, Whitaker is shadowing the bag. Now he's right over 2nd base. And Canseco hits under this one. Gladden is there. And for the catch. Let's go to Gary Miller.
Paul, 2 of the best games of the night. One in Comiskey Park where they went into 11 innings. Seitzer had tied it in the 9th with one of his 2 home runs of the night. Jamie Navarro had a no-hitter into the 8th, but the Brewers pulled out 4-3 and 11. The Sox are now 10.5 back in the West because the Twins won their 5th straight. This bullet by Knobloch threw a pulled-in infield off Reardon, won it in the bottom of the 10th, and they are cruising with a 3-2 win.
That's Sparky Anderson asking the bullpen to do the job tonight. Whitaker coming on and makes the play. And so the A's threat comes to an end here in the 8th inning. No runs, a hit, and Ricky Henderson is left in scoring position.
The Yankees started the second half walking in the winning run with the bases loaded in the 9th inning. It isn't much better tonight. In fact, I think it's worse. DeSarcina with a single knocks in Stevens and Fitzgerald. That made it 9-4. They're still scoring. It's now 12-4, and they're still batting in the 8th, and the Yankees are not enjoying their trip to California.
Back with you at the Oakland Coliseum, and Jeff Parrott now comes on here in the top of the 9th inning, trying to hold the Tigers to that 4-3 Detroit lead, John.
A's signed Jeff Parrott. He was a minor league free agent in the offseason. They signed him to a minor league contract. He made the club coming out of spring training, and he's been a very key setup man from the right side for Tony La Russa this year. He was in the Braves organization a year ago.
Ryman hits a fly ball to Ricky Henderson. 1 out. A's in the 9th inning will have McGwire leading it off. Aside from this one, and the Angels with that big lead over the Yankees in the 9th inning. And there goes Cecil Fielder. Quiet night for Cecil. Couple of strikeouts, 1 for 5, and it was a single. He balloting last couple of years, and now being ignored in the All-Star game. Mickey choosing to hold the bat very still. Holds his hands relatively low. Can't catch up on that off-speed pitch. A little too early on the swing. Parrott strikes out 2 of the 3 batters he faces here in the 9th. So we go to the home half of the 9th inning. Last shot for the A's. And Knutson will try and close this one off, John.
Knutson's a young guy, just 25 years old, up through the system. They really like this guy's arm. He throws about 88, 89 mile-an-hour fastball, slider, and split finger. And he's the projected closer on this club for the future. I talked to Sparky about Knutson before the game. They're impressed with his arm. He's come up here and done a good job this year, 2-0 with a 2.72 ERA in the years to come.
From Arlington Heights, Illinois, attended the University of Miami. Now has to face a former USC Trojan and Mark McGwire leading off the 9th inning with the A's down 4-3, but out hit by the Tigers 11-8.
He's in a situation facing the Oakland A's. Mark McGwire, going to get any more exciting than that?
And he goes full now to McGwire. And Wilson in the dugout waiting to pinch run if need be. Steinbach next. Strike 3 call. Whitaker out and under. So he went full to Mark McGwire to start the 9th inning. Got him on a called 3rd strike. Got Steinbach on a pop-up. Now 3-2 to Brown. Skeeter Barnes coming on. And the Tigers win it and snap a 4-game losing streak and snap the A's 4-game winning streak, John.
Kurt Knutson comes on to pick up his 3rd save. And the A's fall 3 games back to Minnesota as Minnesota wins tonight. Tough loss for the A's.
So Jose Canseco with a 2-run home run tonight, his 19th of the season. Mark McGwire didn't hit any home runs, nor did Cecil Fielder. Now, Paul Olden speaking for John Stearns, bidding all a very pleasant good night from Oakland, California, where the Tigers and Bill Gullickson beat the A's 4-3. Good night, everybody.